Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be making some resin jars and I'm just going to get straight into today's video because I have a lot of resin mixing to do. I'm going to be using Let's Resin's epoxy, and what I'm wanting to do today is another resin dirty pour. I'm mixing 7 ounces of part A and 7 ounces of part B for a total of 14 ounces of epoxy. These jars do take quite a bit of resin, so my hand is going to hurt today. I've done resin dirty pours on my channel before, but the 2 times I've done them, I've used the split cup. I'll link those videos at the top in case you missed them, but for this dirty pour, I'm going to be pouring the resin out of this measuring cup. I'm looking for a specific look, and I want to see if I can achieve that look by pouring the resin this different way. For the colors, I'm going to be using these pigment pastes, and I'm going to use white, blue, and purple. As for the base, I'm going to keep the resin clear, but I will be adding gold leaf to the resin. My hopes for these jars is that the clear layer of resin with the gold leaf will be the star of the show, and that there will be these wisps and swirls of the blue, white, and purple. So now I'm going to mix up my colors, and with these pigment pastes, you don't need much. A small drop of color goes a long way because they're so concentrated and opaque. But I do want to lighten the blue and purple a little, so I'm just going to add a little bit of white to them. Like I said, I want the clear resin with the gold leaf to be prominent, so I'm not going to mix up much colored resin. These little cups are 2 ounces, and as you can see, they're not fully filled, and I'm probably not even going to add all this resin to the clear either. It's going to be interesting to see how the pigment pastes blend in the dirty pour. I've only ever used mica powders, and there was that one time I used glitters. So I know the dirty pour technique is pretty popular in the paint community, and I personally like the look of them, so it's cool that I get to do it with resin too. Let me know in the comments if you've tried doing a resin dirty pour and what you use to color the resin. Okay, so all my resin is mixed up now, and it's time to add the resins together. And this is the part where everything could potentially go wrong and turn into a muddy mess. So the way I'm going to pour my colors in is I'm going to pour a small amount in, but I'm going to keep each color separate, and I'm going to keep them towards the front and towards the spout of my measuring cup. The common way to do a dirty pour is to pour and layer the colors on top of each other, but again, because I want the clear to be prominent, I'm trying it this way. I've never tried doing a dirty pour like this. I've only tried the split cup technique and the laying each color on top of each other technique, so we're all going to learn something today. And now I'm going to go in with a popsicle stick and swirl the colors around a bit to start the wispy and swirl effect in the resin. Okay, so now let's fill these molds. I'm going to continuously rotate my mold to help swirl the resin, and I'm going to slowly pour my resin in. I will be speeding this part up once I edit this video, but know that I'm going slowly in real time to try and keep the speed of the resin flow and my hand rotating the mold even. Now, I can already see that this piece might be a fail. This pour might be a fail. The blue, it's just taking over, but it's okay because this is all experimental and all in good fun. I'm still interested in seeing what this piece is going to look like once it's cured. I think my biggest tip for doing resin dirty pours has to be to take things slow. If you decide to try this technique, once you get to this part, and also when you're pouring the resins together, if you go too fast or mix them too much, it can easily turn into a muddy mess. So take your time, even though you are working against the clock before the resin starts curing. I still have the lid of my jar to fill, but I'm going to do that tonight off camera. My hand is hurting a bit, so I'll be back tomorrow once all the resin has cured. These are all cured now, and as you can see, I did fill the jar lid mold. I did it off camera like I said I would, and I kept the resin clear with gold leaf. So let's see what we've got here. I'm going to start with this one since this one doesn't look like what I was going for. Yeah, so there's a lot of blue here. I am slightly disappointed. I want to see more of the clear resin with the gold leaf, but at least I can still see the gold leaf, so that's pretty. I think I might have to adjust the amount of colored resin I put in, and I might also have to lessen the amount of pigment itself. I'll just have to keep working on it. Okay, now for the lid. I kept the resin for the lid clear with gold leaf so that once I screw on the lid doesn't clash with the jar. This looks pretty. You can never go wrong with clear resin and gold leaf. It always looks so elegant. And lastly, the second jar. Now, this one looks more promising. I can already see more of the other colors I put in. Oh yeah, this one looks nicer and you can see the wispies. It's still not what I was going for, but the effect does look nicer than the first jar in my opinion. I think if I lessen the amount of colored resin and instead of pouring the resin into a blob and pour it more in streaks, I may get the effect I'm after. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss the video where I try this idea. And be sure to comment down below which piece is your favorite. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you got something from it. If you did, then please smash the like button. And if you'd like to see other resin crafting videos I've done, then be sure to check out one of the ones that's on screen now. Thanks so much for watching.